Good evening, everyone. We're here, and I'm just a little bit early. I wanted to try to come in a little bit earlier and see if we could gather our watchers as we wait for the time to come nigh, and then as soon as we hit the top of the hour, we might be ready to start the reveal itself. That's at least my thought, anyway. So this is a 1937D original. Well, it may not be original. I don't know. It's a BU roll of 1937D Lincoln Cents. We're hoping to find some goodies out of this. The list of known goodies is not a real long one, but they're nice anyway. Hello, Kevin, Paul Hampton, Eric Beyer, Joe McBride, Andy Snowville, Dennis Paulson. Eric hopes he can stay awake through 10 coins. It's, all you have to do is put headphones on and watch the show with music piping into your ears as loudly as you can stand it. You'll probably stay awake. Hear that, or drop a couple ice cubes down your pants. You'll stay awake. We got Cuds R Us. How you doing, Robert? Farm Dog. Kevin Speaks. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes for people to start showing up. We're a couple of minutes into the live, but I've got 8:54 as the time. We're supposed to start this at 9 o'clock, so I'm going to hang on here for just a few minutes before I open this tube up and get started. I hope everybody's had a grand Saturday. Benzodiazepines. It's a very strange name for drug, because I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but the first four letters of that, benz, is very closely related to the German word for gasoline. Benzene. Adam Connor, Jeff Dunn, Paul Hampton. Good evening, sirs. Well, we got a crowd starting up in here. 15 folks in here. What about sleep, Joe? Nobody needs sleep. It's overrated. I get plenty of sleep when I'm dead. Techstar. Thank you, Randy. Maybe I should do a portrait and start signing portraits for people. That's what the famous people do. Maybe I should have baseball cards made of me, only I'm not a baseball player. Maybe that'll work. Got about 4 minutes left before I clock in and start working here. Kelly Michaud. Hello, Kelly. Ken Yeager. Get you guys all in here and settled down, ready to go. And then we'll get started on this Butamus roll. Benzos make you sleep. Oh. I don't think I want any benzos. I don't think I have a need for benzos. I can sleep at the drop of a hat. My problem is staying asleep. Randy, you're more than welcome to join in on the chat or join in anywhere you want to, anytime. You don't have to be involved in the role to stick around and talk, chat, make comments, whatever you want to do. Everybody's welcome. Everybody in the family's welcome. This is a no admission paid show. Well, thank you, Dennis. Yeah, I was glad we came up with as many RPMs as we did. That might be the kind of roll I pick out just to do a roll dig on. Another 1955 S roll, just to see what happens. SMS sets and 71 proof sets. Huh. Well, you never know what you might come up with out of those. Hello, Donna Mac. Well, I appreciate that, Kevin. This is one of those things I enjoy doing. I like going through rolls of coins. I like talking to people. And see what I can do with it. Try to make a show out of it. Try to make it entertaining, educational, and entertaining at the same time. Without having to sing or do any music or anything. I am not Conjunction Junction. You have to go to TV for that. Mix my names up in here real good and mixing up the bag. Hello, Stevie. Jason Lausenheiser, hello. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get us on the road here. Oops, pick that back out of there. Okay, there's coin number 1 for us. Pour this tube out. Yeah, the coins in this roll look reasonably good. They all are red BU coins. So let's give it a shot, see what happens. What do you say? I tie words and phrases together. Conjunction junction. Actually, that's a... yeah. We know what we're trying to say. Andrew O'Neill. Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining, gets the first coin in the roll. Let's take a look at it and see what we've got. Here it is. Looks like we have our first die. It is a doubled eyelid, the extra eyelid sticking straight out of the primary eyelid. Just makes the eyelid longer but puts doubling on it. Let's see if we can be lucky enough to find a good marker. There's one. North-south die scratch below the T of Liberty. See what else we can find on here. See if there's some sort of a marker we can use near the date, or in the throat, or on the mouth, or someplace where it's easier to see than flopping over to the other side of the design. Okay, we have a few north and south die scratches under the chin, but that's going to be hard to pick up on. Might want to just skip on to another coin and see if we can do something with another coin. This one's got the toning on it from the end of the roll. Yeah, we'll remember this. Let's see, we've got a... is that a die scratch below the B? Anyway, we'll just remember this one under the T. It's the easiest one to see. That one is listed? Okay. You want to get a die number for me? Let's go to the other side and see if we can find some markers for you. This will be the first coin in the roll. Turns out to be a doubled die. There's a heavy die scratch inside the sea of scent. Not seeing much else here. There's like this coin is toned down a little bit, so it's really hard to tell. It's got a couple of stains and spots on it. It's a little hard to tell where the markers are. I don't see anything else. Anyhow, we'll just call this one die number 1. We'll put it off to the side. Safe to say there's a die scratch underneath the T of Liberty. And this is a doubled eyelid that shows extra length in the eyelid. It's not shifted north or south, it's just straight out to the east. Here's the next coin in the roll. Does this have the same thing on it? It's got spots, I know that for sure. Yeah. It's not the same thing. I don't think it's quite the same thing. It's not as well defined. I don't think it's the same die. I don't think it's the same thing. Yeah, this is a leopard coin. You got acne. I don't think we're going to call this one a double die. It just does not look the same. Let's check the reverse and see what we have on the reverse. Nothing around that side. Nothing over here. Is definitely a different die pair. No chance it's the same die pair. So everything looks different on the reverse of this one. Okay, that'll be coin number 2. Oops. I didn't pull a name out for coin number 2. Let me grab one here out of the bag. And Timothy Morell gets that one. So there's that. Coin number 3 will go to... Hey, Eric, you're back. Adam Chambers. Take a look for Adam Chambers here. Hello, Hawkeye. Wild Bill, Jeff Stanley. And in case I didn't say hello, hello, Dennis Paulson. Okay. Is this another one of them? It could be. I think it is, yeah. This one's strong enough to call it. Let's go down and look for our die scratch under the T, and right there it is. See a die scratch under the T behind the neck, behind the coat. So we have another example of the same die again. It's somewhat toned down 1937 D Lincoln cent. Let's take a look at the reverse. As all these coins seem to have just a few little spots, little areas that lack some of the overall luster that the coin started with. Good evening, Coins Arnito. It's Variety Vista DDO number 2 and Copper Coins DDO number 4. So that's what we're going to go with. So we got 2 of them now. And let's move on. Grab one for Yo Man. Let's see what Yo Man gets. Oof. It's got some spots here and there. Looks like we've got another one though. We do. Another double die obverse. There's your die scratch under the T. We definitely have ourselves another one. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if there's anything big and fantastic on the reverse. I don't see anything. Not big and fantastic anyway. Alright, so let's go on. Got another double die here for Yoman. So that's going to be coin number 4 in the roll. Now we're going to go on to coin number 5. Coin number 5 will go to Adam Chambers. And Adam Chambers will get this coin, coin number 5. These coins are toned down quite a bit. Okay, we got nothing under the T. So this one is not going to be one of them. No, it's not. That's an interesting little rim cug going on right there underneath the shoulder. Alright, let's take a look at the other side. And nothing going on there. Hello, Timothy Morrell. We got 31 people watching now. They're piling up at the door. Surag. Surag coin number 6. Right here. And another one. Let's check. It may be, it may not be. Yeah, it's not that die. It's this one that's a lot weaker. I just don't feel comfortable calling it. The other one is just so strong and so obvious, and this one's just really kind of weak. I don't think I want to call it on this one. Something tells me this is probably not a double die. Let's see what's on the reverse. It looks like we've got no hub doubling on the reverse. It also doesn't have the die scratch in the C that the double die has. So we're going to call this one a normal coin. Bag it, tag it, move on to coin number 7. Coin number 7 will be for Kevin Speaks. Kevin, you ready, buddy? Here we go. This bud's for you. Looks as though we do not have one here either. So this one's going to be a normal coin. I'm going to go back through these. I'm going to look at them again under the big scope, because if that bump stands out any, I'd have to call that a double die, and so that means probably 2/3 of the coins I've been through so far would have doubling to some extent, either this one or a different one. And I'm sure I'm looking at 2 different dies, because one of them is just blatant. Just pokes out at you. It's obvious that it's there. And this one doesn't really. So, hello, Spy Ted Die Crack. We're going to toss this one in the normal pile for now, but we're going to come back to it. After the roll is done, I'll go back. I'll take a look through everything. Probably tomorrow or the next day. I've got a whole lot of other rolls to check and search first. This is another one. Appears to maybe even be the same die, that it's just not quite there enough. Let me find a marker on this one. I need a marker to use for these. I just got bit by a mosquito in my house. That's not good. I do not like mosquitoes. I'm allergic to them. Not an anaphylaxis allergic or anything, but they swell more and they last longer on me. Yeah, use that little a little tiny die dent right below the 1. There's a little tiny die gouge there, right below the 1, so I can see it pretty well. I'm going to try to use that as a marker to see if I can pick this one out again. Let's look at the reverse. And the heavy die scratch inside the Sea of Scent is not there, so batting 1,000 so far. I've seen this before. So we've got this heavy die scratch running for the M of America on the faux double die, not the actual double die. And I'll come back. I mean, when I come back through, I'm going to look at these again. I'm going to make sure that I'm calling this right. I'm not going to send these out calling them wrong. Hello, John. CDDO copper coins, DDO4. Also shows a vertical die scratch below the R in Liberty. Is it an earlier die state than this, a later die state, or about the same? Here's John Brandon Bow. Get a high mint mark on this one. see any doubling in or around the mint mark. This one does not have a doubling on the eye. This actually has a little bit of a gouge coming out of the eyelid, and that's about it. I don't see any other remarkable doubling on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if we have anything there. Nothing there. So it's an early coin. Yeah, see, a lot of those die scratches and stuff that you have on an early die state, by the time you get to mid-late die or late mid die state to late die state, they're gone. And that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with slightly later die state coins. Sissy Atwell. Sissy Atwell will get the next coin in the roll. It's going to be coin number 10. And coin number 10 is one of our double dies. I think. Man, really hard to tell the difference. Nope. Markers show me it's not. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a better look at these later and tell for myself under the big scope whether it is or is not a comparable double die. If it is, I will be sure to get it listed or find a listing for it, one or the other. That's coin number 10. Oh, blues coins. Coin number 11 goes to Alejandro. Alejandro. So we can also use a position of the mint mark as one of our determinant factors. It's very close to the 9, a little bit further away from the 3, and it is on or above. It looks like it's just on the line between the bottom of the 9 and the lowest point of the 3. Right there. Yeah, it's on to above the line. So you measure that out. You use that as part of your marker. This is definitely one of our eyelids. There's your die scratch. Let's see. No, wait a minute. Gosh, what am I doing here? There is not a die scratch below the T. And I thought that was just covered up a little bit, but there's nothing there. Sometimes I get so disgusted at myself jumping to conclusions. Here we go. That was a little hair sitting on the coin. It wasn't a scratch at all. Alright. So we got a nothing on this coin. It's got some toning going on up there. Oh, JC Will. I thought I made you... Here. Let's do it once and for all. I'm going to make you moderator so you don't turn up a different color from everyone else. Of course, we don't discriminate against gray names, but I prefer all of the people in the family have blue names. Alright, see, this one's so much different from the other. It's like if you check that line, it's way below the line right there, and it's also pretty much equidistant from the 9 and the 3. So this one's definitely a different die from the one we just saw. This one does not have the doubling on the eye. So this one's going to be a no doubling on the obverse. Let's see about the reverse. See if we have anything going on in the reverse. Nothing. Pretty decent clean coin though. It's a nice choice to Jim BU. And number 13. Number 13 coming up. Oh, I gotta get... Well, that was for Donna. I gotta get her name inside there before I forget to put her name in there. So, well, number 13 is also for Donna. Make us some luck, Donna. Grab your hands together or something. Give us some luck. Well, let's see. See, this one's yet a different die altogether. The D is very low on this one. This one appears... Let's check for our die scratch. There's the die scratch under the T. So this one's going to be one of our double dies. See how much larger and more obvious that is than that other die? I don't know. I'll have to take a look. This one got a bit of a fingerprint on it. I don't like fingerprints at all. I do not like fingerprints. Sam, I am. This one should have a die scratch in the A or the M of America. Wait, and I'm not seeing it. I'll have to pull these apart once I get them in the big scope. But I do believe there is a decent chance this one is one of the double dies, so I'll have to get a better look at it later. Coin number 14. 14. James Worley. James Worley up to bat now. Session goes back up close to the 9 again. This is the maybe possible one. That's got the die scratch in the M. So which one? See, this would be the maybe possibly one, because it does not have the die scratch with the T. One of them had a die dot below the 1. I think it was this die, I believe, had the die dot below the 1. Let's find some. Oh, look, there's a little die gouge right out in front of the chin. That'll work. Little die gouge out in front of the chin is the maybe possibly one. Next. Die scratches from date to vest in the double die. I'm not sure. Let's wait till we get another one out here. Where are we? Yeah, what do we have here? I see that for sure looks like one. It's not the same die, though. It's not either one of the dies that we've come to know. Well, this is confusing. Oof. Quality could be a little better on some of these coins for being a full BU roll. Yeah, Jeff Stanley there. See the next coin. See what we come up with on the next coin. Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley, what do we have? We got a nothing. We got a nut in there. Take my lanyard off. Makes my neck itch. I think I might be allergic to the material. All right. Moving right along to the next coin. Get Mr. Worley's name in there first. Coin number 17. Coin number 17 will go to Eric Beyer. See if we can get something good for Eric. Well, this one's just, I mean, I don't know. I've just got to pull these aside as a possible double die, but I'm going to leave them in the pile for now because I'm just going to end up having to go through this whole roll again. This particular magnifier is not very impressive with lighting in such circumstances. Wow. This is a roll ender here. As I said, this is a tubed roll. They came out of an original roll and went back in this roll in pretty much any order. So we're seeing the end of a roll with this one. Not seeing any doubling on here. Let's do coin number 18 now. Coin number 18 goes to Mike Birchman. Nothing on that coin. That's number 19. Moving on now to coin number 20. Deanne. Deanne will get coin number 20. Looks like that could be another one. Does not have the scratch below the T. Yeah, I don't know. Just call it anybody's game. Deanne could have one as well, possibly. Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. Oh, this one's definitely one of them. I think. This is that earlier die state one. I'm not really sure what we do have here. It looks like it could be a really minor double die, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's got a lot of spots on this one. Let's try another one. Sureg. Coin number 22. Is Eric Beyer still awake? Earth calling Eric Beyer. Eric Beyer, make a comment. Dr. Byer to OR4. Dr. Byer to OR4. This one's got the T scratch. This is one of our coins right here. I think Dr. Byer fell asleep at the hands of Chuck Daughtrey and his golf announcer voice. Got those periods where there's like 5 or 10 seconds worth of silence. You fell asleep for 2.5 seconds, but it feels like you might have been asleep for 15 minutes and you're not sure. My main difficulty here, Kelly, is the scope that I'm using so I can broadcast, and the fact that I don't get really good lighting directions with this. It just makes everything a lot more difficult to detect. This is not one of them. If I was using a pro scope and camera setup, it would be a lot easier. I'm thinking about ordering like a 3 or a 5 megapixel scope camera, because the one I have is 18.5 megapixels. It's probably too much to handle with live streaming. So if I got a 3 megapixel, I might be able to handle it doing live streaming. Then at least I have a microscope that I can look inside of immediately to tell whether or not we have what we think we have. Because this particular little scope that I'm using is one of those little desktop dealies. You cannot look through it. But the microscope I've got here on the desk, you can look through that one. Okay, this is not going to be one of our double dies. I'm just checking everything, just to make sure. Flip it over, take a look at the other side, see if we got anything on this one. And I'm going to have to... There's the one that we've been noting that was not a double die, was a scratch through the A of America. 9 o'clock p.m. is too late for me to be trying to concentrate. Sissy Atwell. Sissy Atwell gets coin number 25. We are now officially halfway through the roll. Ooh. Well, that's kind of interesting. Didn't have anything else going on. Got a little feature on the edge of the mem mark is kind of cool. Kelly, I honestly think they're too expensive for what their output is. I think there's probably a number of other different scopes that would probably do you just as well for quality and be a lot less expensive. The graders use a 5x loop, so the graders aren't looking for a die variety, so they're just basically looking at marks and fractures and other little things. Kelly, I don't recommend digital microscopes at all. I never have, and I still don't. Microscope I have on my desk that I use is a stereo zoom microscope. It's about a 30-pound microscope. You park both of your eyes up next to it and put underneath what you want to see. You have to have a light to shine at it. But it's definitely not a digital microscope. This one's a double die. Got a little bit of a double die reverse here. It doesn't show up in many places. It doesn't show up very well at all. But you can see it on the U. Extra thickness around the bottom of the U. Same there. It's a little bit of a golf ball appearance, or a little bit of an egg appearance to the dot between pluribus and unum. You come over here and you get quite a bit of extra thickness with the L, and then an egg-shaped dot there with the E, but I don't see anything on the wheat stalks at all. So we're going to pull this one out. It's going to be a double die, that's for sure. Farm Dog gets this one. So we've got a double die reverse, coin number 26 for Farm Dog. This one's not on RPM. Nothing I can find on this one that tells me this is an RPM. So to keep moving, I'll be doing coin number 27 now. Coin number 27 goes to Shannon McCord. This one does not have the die scratch under the T, but it does look like it could be a doubled eyelid. But that appearance right there. It's another of that second die that I'm going to have to really pay attention to as I'm going back through the roll. If I find one that I think is listable, then they all are. Dies don't change. They age. Their details become muffled over time, but they don't. Dies don't change. If you get a die gouge, you're going to have a die gouge there through pretty much most of the die's life. As soon as a die cracks, it is forever marked for the remainder of its life. Die cracks are a failure in the die. Over a period of time, those failures add up, and you end up with a busted die. Or one that's about to bust that someone noticed and pulled out before it had a chance to really mess things up. I'm thinking a no on this one as well, even though it really looks like it from this angle. So, heck, I might as well just stop pulling stuff out of this roll altogether and just check these for condition. Because whatever's in this roll is minor. Of course, that means a very modest, if any, real premium. But they're still fun coins to have. Hello, Jeff Schumar. Haven't seen you here in a while. Two DDRs. This one could be one of them, that's for sure. Good chance of it. There's another coin. This one's got a chip at the bottom of the lip. Or what we were looking for on that, but it's definitely got a chip on the bottom of the lip. I remember those. So this one also looks like it could be a doubled eyelid. So this will be coin number 29 here. And coin number 30. Coin number 30 goes to Eric Beyer. Well, that's a 1937 D Lincoln cent right there. No doubling. Bummer. I remember when I was a teenager, I went into a dealer's shop. He had a pad out on his countertop on the showcase. He had been going through something or doing something. Don't remember what it was. I'm not sure that he would ever remember what it was, but I believe he was checking in a collection or something. And he turned around to help me and talk with me, and he saw in his tray there was an uncirculated wheat penny there. So he looked at it. It was a 1937 D. He says, "You want this?" Well, how much do you want for it? He said, "Nothing. Just take it." I said, you give free flips with your free coins?" "Sure, I'll give you a flip." I got a free 1937 D uncirculated wheat penny. First one I ever had. I didn't think I'd ever had a uncirculated wheat penny prior to 1940 at that point in time. That sure made my day. It was about a $5, maybe a $3 to $5 coin at that time. Now, a nice uncirculated 1937 D Lincoln cent's going to be a $10 item. A really nice one will be a $15 to $20 item. These are just at or below the $10 mark. Except the ones that are double dies. The ones that are double dies are more like $20 to $25. Even for a double die lid. Just because it's a listed double die puts a little bit of credence on its value. So this could be another one. I doubt it though. Sorry about that, Eric. Maybe what we can do is I'll open up a roll or a couple of rolls tomorrow. We'll just do roll digs. I keep all the coins nobody wants. If you want a coin, you make an offer. If I like your offer, I'll take the offer. If I don't like your offer, I'll negotiate with you. But it's mostly going to be an auction type thing. If there's more than 10 people in there, we'll just do it auction style and let people bid on it. Given that it's a straight off live auction directly derived from the coins themselves, I'm going to have to hold a reserve on items to be sure that the bidding at least gets up to a level that's at or above what I paid for the coins. I know you've done well in the past, Eric. What time I might start that? I don't know. It kind of depends on what time I get up, but I'm kind of thinking probably around 11 to noon, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If I find a roll this evening, I'm going to start looking for a roll to go through. If I find a roll this evening, I'll get it scheduled this evening. That way when you get up in the morning, look at the schedule for the channel. If it's in there, then we'll be doing very well. Now, this one's a roll ender too. This is a icky looking coin. Shannon, Mr. McCord, this one's free. Yeah, this one's free. We're not going to be able to charge you for this. This one's just a little too spotty for my taste. Alright, Shannon. Let's see what my magic soup will do for this one. Because it's going to be free, I'm going to take the liberty to try to get the crap off of it for you. And if I can get some of the crap off of it for you, then you'll have a nicer free coin. Let's see what we come up with here. Just a little light dusting of the good stuff on here. See if we come up with something that's more acceptable. You just found a 36 DD01. Is it uncirculated? Now let's see what we ended up with. Much nicer. Still a red-brown looking coin. Much nicer looking. Better appearance. Still spotty. I'm not gonna get the spots off of it. Shannon, you let me know that you want your credit back on this one, and I will give it to you. That's coin number 34. The 1937 D-roll. Xylene. It's called Xylene. Xylene. It's a very flammable, highly dangerous, cancer-causing agent that does very well with copper. You have to get the laboratory grade stuff, though. Don't get the hardware store stuff. Laboratory grade Xylene. Comes from sciencecompany.com. www.sciencecompany.com. I ought to call them and let them know that I'm pushing their product and they should give me an advertisement to run. They could give me an advertisement and pay me $100 a month to run it. Alright, Mr. Fletcher turns up a normal coin. Yo, man. Yo, 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 dog. Ooh, look at this one. This one's got toning on it. This one's actually pretty. This has got pretty colors. And a spot. It's not one of the double die obverses that we've been chasing around. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what it is. Not a double die reverse at all. Still a pretty nice coin, though. That one goes to Yo Man. That's coin number 36 in the roll. Dog's not in here snoring now. John Brandon Bow. John Brandon Bow will get this coin. This is coin number 37 in the roll. This one looks like it could be one of our double dies. Yeah, and I think it just may be. Well, it's not showing the marker I'm looking for. So it's probably that other die. Not sure what to say about these. A little confusing. It could be that there was a master die. See, there's a scratch through the A. Could be that there was a master die that had, or a master hub, or just a hub that had that issue on it that transferred out to different dies. So it could be a working hub doubling. If it's a working hub doubling, then it's not necessarily a doubled die, it's a doubled hub. If that turns out to be the case, we will not be listing these as double dies. You will just know that the doubling did come from the hubbing process, but not the part of the process from which unique double dies would come. A little bit of a synopsis on that, how that works. You start off with a master die, which is a direct reduction from the engraving itself. So a master die is actually that's actually master hub. I'm sorry, master hub. And then the master hub is turned over onto a master die. It makes the master die. The master die is a very high level, sharp quality die that is used to create working hubs. Now, the working hubs are the ones that make multiple dies. So a working hub can make a dozen or more dies, and then each of those dies turns around to make coins. Now the part of the process, because there's so many of them, the part of the process where they're going to miss doubling during inspection is going to be the process where the individual working dies are made. Who gets this? That's Sissy Atwell. She won't mind. I'm going to take all this junk off of here. This is just junk sitting on top of the coin. While I've already got the stuff out, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So let's get a good picture, get a good mental image of this. Yeah, we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, for more tricks, come to my magic show. No, seriously. Get this. See if I can get all this gunk off this coin. If the gunk comes off the coin, it should be pretty nice. What do you think of that? Pretty much all that gunk came off the coin. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Mike Connors, I need to get you. Turn blue. There we go. Alright, so Sissy gets herself a normal 1937 D Lincoln cent. This one had a lot of gunk on it that needed to come off, and it did. It's a nice coin now. A lot nicer than it was when I took it out of the roll. Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher gets coin number 40. This is coin number 40. We have 11 coins remaining. This is the first out of those 11. And it looks like we may have a double die catcher here. We do have a die scratch under the T, but I'm uncertain as to whether or not it's the same die scratch I've been looking at through all these other coins. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you a live progress report on the number of die varieties that we have in the roll, because I'm going to have to re-inspect the entire roll to find out. See, this one's got gunk on it too. Ooh, yuck. Hello, Sin Delicious. And get the majority of the chewable stuff off of Mr. Fletcher's coin here, because I know he doesn't want a coin that's all marred up. And I'll show you here in a second what it looks like. After I get done with a little xylene on it, that's what it looks like. Nice shiny coin, decent luster, no haze. It's your birthday? Sin Delicious, it's your birthday? Well, happy birthday. I'll sing you happy birthday like Marilyn Monroe. Okay, you ready? Happy birthday. That's all you get, though. because I'm a horrible singer. Can't give you much. Yeah, it came out pretty nice. Pretty nice, Mr. Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher, now with coin number 40. Coin number 41. Coin number 41 will go to Deanne. So I put on one of those, what is it? Ooh, look at the toning on this one. It's got some pretty colors. Pretty colors. It does have some pretty color. It's also got a little bit of ick on it. See that color? That's nice color, but that ick up there. I don't know about that ick. There's more of it on the reverse. Yeah. I'll have to work on this one. This one too. For Deanne. It'll be nice. Get this thing done right. Oh, I hate the idea of having to do this, but if I don't, that stuff's just going to grow on the coin. If it grows on the coin, that coin's going to end up looking really ugly one of these days. It is a nice coin. There isn't that muckety muck on it. It's a really colorful coin. It's got a lot of nice color. One of the first things that you have to understand with this stuff is that you have to know what is a candidate coin and what is not. What's a coin you're going to mess with, and what's a coin that you're not going to. And then when you do mess with it, what's it going to turn out looking like? You really kind of have to know that in advance. Much nicer. Got the garbage off of it. We still have plenty of good luster. Got plenty of color on this. Now let's take a look at the reverse. This is the side that was really messed up. Not nearly so bad. It's stained, but it doesn't have active ingredient all over it. Still got all that color. Here, I'll show you. Let's do it this way. To prove that I don't take quality out of coins. There you go. It really didn't have a whole lot to go with. But this certainly looks decent. That's a decent 1937D right there. Okay, let's take a look at the next coin in the roll. It's coin number 41 to Deanne. Coin number 42. Coin number 42 will go to Jeff Stanley. Jeff Stanley's coin, just from the side of things, looks relatively clean already. Okay, see how the luster is somewhat impeded? It's a little bit darker than the last coin. Got a few spots here and there. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Same thing. Slightly impeded luster, a few spots here and there. Watch. All it takes is a few seconds. Anything more than a few seconds and you're toying with it too long. There you go. Your luster's a little more awake. You still got the spots. It's not going to take the spots off. We're not trying to clean the coin. We're trying to conserve the coin. We're taking the harmful surface stuff off the coin. The stuff that's going to make the coin turn brown, gone. The spots are still there. Your luster is a little bit better because all the dirt and grime is taken off the coin. Basically, you're making a Q-tip dirty. Basically, all you're doing. Making a Q-tip dirty, and you're going to make your room stink. That's about it. What I'm using right now is a Dynoscope. It's a Dyno Light Edge. And here we go with the next coin in the roll for Chuck Patillo. I'll pick out all the double dies later, but see, this one's got spots on it too. It's kind of just a really spotty coin. It needs help because those are active spots. Those spots are going to make the coin turn ugly. And a bit of a fingerprint on the reverse knocks the luster way down on that side. So it is a bright coin though. The luster that's there is really nice luster. So what I'm out to do is just wake the luster up a little bit, take all that crud that's on the coin and get as much of it out of the way as possible. And this is what we end up with. Woke up the luster, took off all the active ingredient, all that active crap. Now the black spots that are remaining, you can't do anything about those. They are what they are. Not going to take all that brown stuff off. We're just going to kind of knock through some of it a little bit. But we have a nice lustrous red 1937 D Lincoln cent now. It's a 63 red, but it's still red. Next in line. Next coin. Next coin. Donna, Donna Mac. Is Donna Mac still around? Earth calling Donna Mac. Are you present, Donna Mac? Well, lay her coin down. We're going to take a good look at it here. Now see, this is a nice coin you don't want to mess with. There's nothing to mess with on this one. Oh, there is. There's one spot out in the field in front of the chin that would probably benefit from being removed. But we take a look. Hoop. What's up, buddy? Got a fingerprint on the reverse. Otherwise, we got just a couple of black spots, but it doesn't look like we have any of that active stuff. Okay, there's a bit of the active stuff in the center of the O of 1. If you look in there, you'll see a spot in the center of the O of 1. That's active ick. That's garbage growing on the coin. There's also a little bit underneath the dot between E pluribus, and there's 2 spots on the inside of the left wheat. It's kind of like mold, but it isn't really mold. It's just growing ick. And get that growing ick off of the coin. You're going to be left with a nicer looking coin that does not have a chemistry set growing on it. The way I do this is a couple of hairs and a breath of wind. I don't scrub the coin, because scrubbing the coin could scratch it. So here's that spot on the obverse. It's pretty much gone. You can still see where it was, but it's not there penetrating the surface of the coin anymore. You got nice bright luster on the obverse, which is kind of what we're after. Yes, technical term of ick. Now see, the ick is gone from the middle of the O. It's gone from the left wheat. It's pretty much gone from the whole surface of the coin. And that's the trick of xylene. Now, xylene is a known cancer-causing agent. Xylene is also very dangerous if swallowed. You got a spot behind his shoulder that's got to go. Just this end of the roll tends to be, I don't know what the deal is with it. The reverse I'm not even going to touch. The reverse is nice. Okay, it's got two spots on it. You also have to change out your Q-tip very frequently, because if you don't, you're going to end up messing up your coins. Here's your obverse again. Take that icky black spot, that green crud from behind the shoulder. Bye-bye. It's gone. Fingerprints are forever. That is true. Cannot do anything about fingerprints on a coin. Now see, this reverse is very nice looking at this point. Very nice. It's taking all the crud off of it. Wakes up that luster a little bit. So that's for Dynamac. Let's pick up the next coin here. Actually, no. The last coin was for Dynamac. I got to draw again for this one. I don't know who gets that one. I've already toyed with it, and I don't even know who gets it. There we go. Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman got that one. So that's coin number 45. Now for coin number 46. Draw for coin number 46. It's going to be Kevin Speaks. Kevin Speaks will get this one. This appears to be a roll ender. Now the luster is nearly dead because of all the crud on the coin. Yep, Cinderlicious as xylene. X-Y-L-E-N-E. And the bottle I have, it's spelled X-Y-L-E-N-E-S. Like xylenes. Okay, so we're going to show you this coin. Get a good mental image of this. Let's do the other side. Let's get a good mental image of that side. You guys get a really good look at it while I open my bottle here. I keep the bottle shut. This stuff evaporates faster than air itself. You leave a bottle open overnight, you're going to end up with a half a bottle the next day. With this, I have to be pretty careful about how I do this. Because you have to knock that stuff off, but you can't do it for too long. Don't scrub too much, because if you do, you'll end up changing the coin. You don't want to do that. You just want to take the crap off the coin. Leave the coin alone. Just take the garbage off of it. Okay. Remember what that coin looked like before? Here it is now. Instant makeover. Nice. Turn my light up just a little bit so you can see it better. Full luster. Here's the reverse. It has every bit of its cartwheel. Every bit of the luster is still there. There's no scratches on the coin, no nothing else. Do not scrub the coins. That is paramount to making sure you're not messing these things up. The second thing, don't mess with a coin that's not a candidate. How do you know what a candidate is? You're going to end up having to screw up some coins. You going to do it with 37 dB rolls? No. Do it with 1964 rolls. Oof, that one's got a spot right over the 9 of the date. Now that spot is never going to leave. That color is always going to be there. But I should be able to take away the icky off of it. The reverse is nice. Except for that right wheat. Look around that right wheat where you've got that lack of luster. And that, it's kind of like a green fog. We'll get all that stuff off of there. Now your spot on your 9 is going to stay there. It's not going anywhere. The surface of the coin will look nicer. But the spot, it's like a fingerprint. It's there forever. Not going anywhere. Okay, so here is the coin. You can see the spot is still there, but it's not as bad. At least you can read the 9 now. Right, it does. It looks a little bit like milk spots on silver. It's a little slightly different color. And now you can see they're gone. Gone altogether. I did get a little spot on the bottom there that needs to be. Sometimes this stuff will pool, and when it dries pooled, it makes a... Yeah, see that little spot down at the bottom is gone now. Very nice, clean looking coin now. Takes that gunky stuff right off the coin. Now, will it grade like that? All indications lead to yes. If it's done right, the coin will still grade. Because what you're doing, you're saving the coin, you're not cleaning the coin. There's a difference. Here's Adam Connor. This one actually looks pretty good. Tilt it up this way so I can see if there's any spots on it. I don't see spots except for something right below the vest and right above the O of God. Right below the jacket, the shoulder fold, and right above the O of God. And those are both black spots. I'm not going to do anything about those. It's the green ick that has to come off. This one doesn't have any green ick on it. It's got a few black spots here and there. But the green ick is not present here. So we're not going to mess with this one. See my restraint? If it doesn't need it, it doesn't need it. Good morning, sissy. Just getting up for the long drive? Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn gets the next coin in the roll. Let's see what Jeff Dunn gets. Nice coin with some luster. Nice luster. I don't see any of my icky spots on this one. Well, there is one. There's one right next to the D of God, and there's one in between the 1 and the 9 of the date, and there's one on the vest down toward the bottom of the coin. So there's 3 little spots, 3 little green spots. And so I will have to take those away. The reverse on this one's got a lot of black on it, but it doesn't look like it has any of the green. Let's see what looks like maybe a couple of little active spots inside the black. So we'll just take care of this. Remember your 3 spots on the obverse. They will be gone. And the stuff on the reverse will be lighter in scope. It won't be as icky. Here's your obverse. All of your little green spots are gone. Not present any longer. Black spots are still there. The green spots are gone. And on this side, it didn't really change anything. Maybe helped wake up the luster a little bit, but these black fingerprint spots are just there for good. There's not really a whole lot of anything that can be done about them. I do know of one thing that should work. Since that stuff is sitting on the surface of the copper, copper is a metal. And copper will contract and expand with heat and cold. So if you were to take this coin, dip it in liquid nitrogen and pull it out and let it expand, it contracts and expands enough, it can actually make those little black spots pop right off the coin. There's Andrew O'Neill. Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. Although we do have a little bit of a fingerprint on this. Actually, some of that fingerprint is still oil on the coin, so I can take the oil off the coin. All the spots that aren't black I should be able to take care of. The ones that are black are on there for good. Let's look at the reverse on this. That's a pretty nice looking reverse. Has a spot on the lower left stem. It's got a spot next to the O of 1. See, these are the kinds of things that you learn to pick up real fast. Timothy Morrell. Yours was pretty early in the roll. Did you only get one coin? If you got one coin, it was pretty early in the roll. I remember it. But I can easily go back through and find it again for you. Show it to you again. Yeah, I know I had your coin in here. I'll just have to go back and find it. Now there's that. Woke up that luster a little bit on there. And on the reverse, took care of that spot down low on the wheat stem and took care of the other spot that was to the left of the O of 1. Those are now gone. And that's all I can do for it. Okay, Tim, I do remember. I'll find which one it is here real quick. That way you can go back and look for it in that specific spot. That's why I make sure that you guys can see the numbers down here while I'm going through. Alright, there's Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. I'm going to go back through the entire roll looking for double dies. Suffice to say that I do believe there are some doubled eyelids in here. So, we'll just have to trust that they'll find their way out of the roll with my closer examination under the microscope a little bit later. It's probably going to be a couple of days before I get to it because I've got a whole bunch of rolls to take care of before then. A lot of stuff I need to ship out on Monday to you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell, yours? Coin number 2. Let me show it to you now. So I can pull it out and show it to you now. Kind of spotty on the obverse. Actually, very spotty. The reverse is a very nice, clean coin. That's coin number 2. You're not bugging anybody. If you are, they can leave. This is my show. I can do what I want. Thank you very much. No scratches, nothing being added to the coin. It's just a stinky little bit of chemical, and that's it. Some people say it's a bad thing. I say if you don't do it, you're going to end up with a coin that's all messed up. If you do it, you have to be very careful about how you're doing it, but you could end up with a much nicer coin after you take the crud off of it. Okay, here's the ones that I've picked out so far that appear to be doubled eyelids. So there's 22, 13, 4, 3, 1, and 26. That's Farm Dog, Andrew O'Neill, Adam Chambers, Yeoman, Donna, and Sureg. So that's what I've got. that's what we've done. That's it for this week. That's the last reveal for this week. I will get into doing something tomorrow. I don't know. I'll do what I can, but heck, the girls are gone. Got nowhere to go. Got nothing else to do except sit here and work on packages, which I'll do through the evening tonight. Oh, it's barely afternoon for me right now. It's only 10:18 in the evening. I'm usually up until about 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, folks. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and take off. It is kind of getting late. I do need to get my stuff done. I've got 33 people watching, and I do definitely appreciate it. We've got a total of 33 people watching, 31 people watching right now, and we got 41 likes. So everyone has liked this, and I really like that, and I appreciate it. And I thank you very much. And to all of you who generally attend my auctions, I would remind you that we are not going to have an auction Tuesday. It is the first full week of the month. So we will not have an auction on Tuesday. And I appreciate it. And you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.